electricity. Okay, welcome to the channel. My name is Stanley and Ben, and today's video is on how to train for the Royal Marines. Particularly what you should be doing, what you should be focusing on. Because over the past few weeks I've had quite a few messages that were responses from my previous videos, and these are from lads that are thinking of joining the Marines or actually in the process of joining the Marines, and they're just looking for a little bit of insight into what they should be focusing on, which is why I sort of decided to make this video today, so I hope you all enjoy. I'm going to try and break this down into a few segments or a few topics, and I'll elaborate on each one. Okay, so the first one being running. Now, running is so important in the Marines because you'll be running everywhere, but it doesn't necessarily matter how fast you're running. Okay, your timings, they're not really apparent. It's all about getting comfortable at running at distance. Now, there's three sort of ranges you want to focus on with running. Now, the first one being short distances. Now, what I will say is go out there and run a mile as fast as you can. Go out there and run 2 miles as fast as you can. The reason for this is that when you're at CTC, you'll be doing camp circuits, you'll be doing BFTs, you'll be doing like fire maneuver, section battle drills. This is where explosive sort of speed and sprinting, it's like endurance, okay, are really apparent. So you need to be getting practice at running at these short distances as fast as you can. This is where fartlek training comes in, becomes apparent as well. So if you don't know what fartlek training is, it's like sprint recovery. So over the sort of distance of a mile, sprint for 100 meters, 200 meters recovery, okay, which is a small little jog, and then as soon as you're in 100 meters again, bosh, you just go for it. That's fartlek training, and that will sort of improve your endurance. Now, the sort of average runs that you should be doing is between 4 and 6 milers. So if you're going out and doing 2 runs a week or 3 runs a week, you should be doing sort of 4 to 6 milers. Okay, this is a sort of average run. So when you sort of pass out and become a Marine and you go to a unit, you'll be doing sort of 4 to 6 mile runs 2-3 times a week. Right, so you need to get that. That should be your normal run. And also, what I will say is try and get a sort of 8 to 10 miler in once a month, just so you're comfortable running at those distances, because it will become apparent. Now, Royal Marines training is really so well orchestrated, it's so well structured that you will get fitter as you progress. So don't worry about it too much, but you need to be comfortable with running. Also, you need to be comfortable at running in boots. Now, if you haven't got a pair of boots, then you need to get a pair, right? Because you can get a pair off Amazon or down an army surplus store. Ideally, you want a pair of sort of high-tech magnums. You can pick them up for about 30-40 quid. These are a nice boot to run in, so try and practice running in boots if you can. Okay? Now, regarding swimming, now with swimming you don't have to be mega excessive. You don't have to go over the top with sort of training and swimming. You just need to reach the certain requirement to pass at a battle swimming test. Now, what a battle swimming test is, it's just basically jumping off a diving board with sort of weighted webbing and a plastic weapon. You swim over to the side. You tread water first, and then you swim over to the side, pass the weapons and kit equipment up to the sort of PTI, and then you swim off. I think maybe you do a couple of lengths, I can't remember, but it's not excessive, it's not hard, but you do need to be comfortable in the water, so you do need to be able to swim. So what I will say is, if you've got access to a swimming pool, then utilize it. If you've got access to the sea, don't be afraid, just get yourself in there. Alright, don't go drowning on me or anything stupid like that. But what you do need to practice is your breaststroke, your front crawl, and treading water. Okay, so I talked about treading water. So what treading water is just basically practicing staying afloat. Okay, so it's just like using your arms in an S sort of motion, trying to keep yourself afloat, and you want to be sort of aiming for like 5-10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just see how long you can go. Alright, so that's swimming. Okay, so now we're going to sort of focus on upper body strength. Now, there's a variety of different sort of topics I'm going to cover in upper body strength, and I'll put like a few sort of video montages in to sort of give you a sort of indication of myself actually carrying out a few of these exercises. Right, so upper body strength is massive in the core. Alright, if you haven't got upper body strength, then they'll just bin you. And what I'm talking about mainly is sort of rope work, okay, pull-ups, press-ups, sit-ups, and Firemans Carries. Now, if you've got access to a rope, then this will give you a massive advantage. I didn't have this before I joined the Corps, and I didn't realise how much rope work was actually incorporated in training. So if you've got access to a rope, there's a few sort of exercises you can carry out, because they will teach you sort of climbing techniques utilising rope. So I don't want to sort of focus on that. I just want you to get used to stuff that I could show you, which is actually in these videos, alright, that will actually help you. So these are sort of like rope pulls and sort of rope hangs, okay. These are actually helping your sort of core stability, because these become apparent, or these sort of exercises become apparent when you have to crack regains, when you have to sort of get used to working with ropes, okay. Now, if you haven't got access to ropes, then you need to utilize a beam or some sort of beam. Okay, this can even be like a tree branch, something that is able to support your weight. And I've got a few videos there just actually incorporating these sort of like beam lifts, okay, or like pull-ups. Okay, pull-ups are very important in the Corps. Right, it actually becomes a sort of vanity thing when you actually pass out in the Marines, you know, like passes 5 and stuff like that. Lads love it. Okay, but if pull-ups is one of your weaknesses, you need to focus on it. Okay, this is a conditioning exercise, so the more you do it, the better you get. It's the same as press-ups, so you should be aiming for about 5 pull-ups at least. Okay, and anything better than that, like I would say 10 is a sort of standard. Okay, if you can't do 10 pull-ups, then I mean, you need to work on that. So if you're overweight, if you're underweight, it's easier if you're underweight because you haven't got much to lift. But if you're overweight, if you're quite a heavy bloke, then you need to stop lifting dumbbells and start focusing on upper body strength. All right. So pull-ups is quite a massive thing in the core. Now I've also got there the sort of like bar lifts and the sort of regain sort of toes to branch, if that makes sense. These are all apparent because you will be doing regains when you go down into the bottom field, and it comes into a like core stability sort of exercise. Okay, so if you can't actually lift your legs to the beam from a hang, then you're going to suffer. All right. Right, so regarding press-ups, these are going to be your best friend, alright? You're going to be doing press-ups till your eyes bleed. Every time you do something wrong at CTC, alright, you're going to be in a press-up position. So you need to be able to get comfortable in this position, because it's going to be, you're going to get thrashed, right? Now there's a variety of variations there on the press-up, but we're only going to sort of focus on the diamond press-up, okay, which focuses on your sort of tricep area and your biceps, and then you've got normal press-ups, and then you've got wide press-ups. Now there's a couple of sort of videos there that sort of give you the sort of required sort of technique, just to give you a sort of insight. Now what I do say is that a couple of times a week, just try and max out on these, right? So if you can do like 60 to failure, try and beat it every week, right? Try and get 70, try and get 80, try and get 100. I think my max was 127. Yeah, that was my maximum effort without stopping, 127. So you can beat that, yeah, then you're better than me, alright? But yeah, you should be practicing press-ups, you should be comfortable with this. Okay, so sit-ups then. Now these are pretty basic and straightforward. Obviously, again, the same as a press-up, there's a variety of variations out there, so just focus on just doing normal press-ups, because this is going to be what's required. There's actually a technique where you need to keep your knees and your ankles together, and as you come down, your elbows need to hit the floor, and as you come up, your elbows need to go past your knees. Okay, that's the sort of technique that the Marines are looking for. So same as the press-ups, and try and do as many as you can until failure, alright, or within a minute, and just try and beat yourself. This should be done maybe once every day. Alright, just maximum effort once every day. Okay, I'm not going to talk too much on the sit-ups because they are pretty basic and straightforward. Okay, next then is Firemans Carries. Now I didn't know about this, I didn't train about for this before I joined the Marines, but when you get down in bottom field, it's actually one of the bottom field pass-out tests. Now if you can obviously jump the gun and sort of practice this beforehand, then Bob's your uncle, right? I didn't utilize any sort of weighted ruck runs or anything. I was so ill prepared in that sort of regard, but just anything that can sort of benefit you before you actually get down there is great. So I've got a little video there of actually like picking up my missus with sort of Firemans Carry. So if you've got like a best mate or an oppo, alright, just pick him up and just take him for a little 100-meter shuttle run. Okay, it's more of a shuffle than a run, but it's a case of utilizing momentum with your arms to sort of drive forward. Okay, this is sort of strength and endurance training, and you'll be obviously utilizing this down on the bottom field. I think this is around weeks 10 to 15. I can't remember when you actually started doing bottom field, but yeah, if you can get used to Fireman's Carries, then you're getting a sort of edge on Royal Marines training. Okay, so yomping then. Right, so what is yomping? Now the army call it tabbing, like a tactical advance to battle, but in the Marines we call it yomping, alright? And basically it's just picking up a heavy ruck or a bergen and just carrying it over like a stupid distance, alright? And you're just hanging out of your ass at all times. So now I didn't prepare for this before I joined the Marines, alright? I didn't go on any ruck runs or nothing, so I struggled massively, and this is one of the most important things I could actually sort of tell you or teach you in preparing for like Royal Marines, is sticking weight on your back and just going for it. These aren't runs, alright? These are actually like marches. So the difference between a walk and a march is that you've got a longer stride, so it's like a quicker stride. So what I will say is start off with a day sack, start off with something small, just stick, fill it with crap, up to about, let's say, 20 pounds, and just work up to sort of 50 pounds if you can, or 55 pounds. And the ranges you want to sort of be going for is at least sort of 6 miles. Okay, if you can do this in boots, then it's better. And I will highly suggest that you do it on cross country or down at the beach, because it's softer on your ankles. But what the ranges you want to sort of be going for is, yeah, between 6, 8, 10 miles, and just getting used to that weight, getting used to that pain on your shoulders. This is where it's all about the mind, because you sort of push through these pain barriers. But if you can get an introduction into this before you join the Marines, it'll be so beneficial. Okay, so try and practice yomping, and try and get yourself a pair of boots and practice yomping in boots. Okay, so I'm now going to talk about sort of gym fizz that you can do at the gym that will actually sort of benefit you for commando training, right? First thing I want to talk about is burpees. Now, burpees are a great exercise that will sort of increase your CO2 capacity. Right now, this is apparent for sort of section battle drills, BFTs, fire maneuvers and stuff like that, right? If you're cracking out burpees, you can do half burpees or full burpees or suicides or bastards, whatever. But you want to be doing these to like maximum effort. I do 21, 15, 9 before I do any sort of workout. But what I will say is try and get 20, try and get 30, try and get 40, try and get 50, okay? These are a great exercise and they're mega underrated, alright? So that's burpees. Also, you've got tire flips, okay, which is sort of an explosive exercise. This is all about aggression and intensity, which is what the corers want to see from you, right? So get used to like lifting up a nice heavy tire, just flipping it, keep going, keep breathing out your ass, okay? Aggression and intensity is everything. Determination. Now, also you've got upright rows and lat pull downs. Now, upright rows, I'll show you like a few pictures there. These will increase your sort of traps, like your trapezius, your upper sort of back muscles. This will help with yomping, okay? And then you've got lat pull downs, which will help you with your pull-ups. Now, you can go sort of two ways with lat pull downs. You can go sort of high intensity, which is a lot of repetitions, all right? Or you can use like high volume, which is heavy weighted lat pull downs. This will help you get used to lifting your body weight. So yeah, lat pull downs and upright rows. Also for lower body, you've got squats, okay? Don't go too heavy with the squats, just you want to keep them at sort of 15 to 20 reps and try and do like 10 sets, because you need like strong legs for yomping, but you don't need massive legs where you can't run, alright? Because you will get bigger sort of legs during training as you progress through training, but you do need to sort of work on squatting for yomping. If you've got mega skinny legs, if you're a mega slim bloke, you might suffer. I'm just saying that you might suffer, so you do need like strong legs. Most bootlegs have got good legs, alright, because we yomp. So squatting does help with that. Same as lunges, alright? You can do lunges with sort of the barbell or with dumbbells, okay? So yeah, squats and lunges for your lower legs. Right, so I've already put up a few videos of what it's like in training, so go check them out, especially if you're thinking about joining. But what I will say is that intensity, aggression and determination is what it's all about, right? This is what the Marines is looking for, how hard you're working and like how far you're willing to go, how much do you want it, right? So take that into consideration. I wanted it so bad. I wanted that green leader, right? I wanted to prove it to myself and my family, so that's what it's all about. That's what gets you through training. If you've never sort of really pushed yourself to the limits and you don't know what it feels like to absolutely hang out of your ass, then I've got a few sort of like tests here that you can sort of carry out that will actually hopefully put you on your ass, alright? So you can do like 50 burpees for time and then try and beat it each week, right? 100 burpees for time and then try and beat it each week. Run a mile in under 6 minutes, right? And if you can do that, try and beat it each time, right? 100 press-ups for time, 200 air squats for time, alright? A good one is try the Murph workout, right? The Murph workout, you do it without weight, right? You want to try and get under 40 minutes, and it's a 1 mile run followed straight away by 100 pull-ups, followed by 200 press-ups, followed by 300 air squats, followed by another 1 mile run, right? That's a Murph workout and it is an absolute hangout. Now the actual real Murph workout is done with a sort of chest plate, alright, which is about 12 pounds, I can't remember, but yeah, it's a great workout and it's a good sort of test of fitness workout as well. Okay, so in summary then, everything I've highlighted or outlined in this vid is what you need to pass Royal Marines training, right? You don't need to be massive, you don't need to be a bodybuilder or a powerlifter, it's all in the mind. I've seen massive blokes in training, right, that could carry 100 pounds, 110 pounds, 120 pound Bergens, right, and yomp for 10, 12, 15 miles, but they can't sprint or they can't climb a rope. If you can't climb a rope, that's you binned, alright? I've seen tiny guys pass out of training. Now this is something that actually inspired me, because when I was in sort of week 22 or 23, I was really struggling with the yomping, and then I would see smaller, skinnier guys right around camp that were further in training with me. They had like little commando flashes which indicated that they had passed commando tests, and I was like, well, fuck me, do you know what I mean? If that little bloke can do it, anyone can do it, and it's all in the mind. Okay, so yeah, so that concludes the sort of video. I hope you've all enjoyed. If you're actually in training or thinking about joining, or any sort of questions at all, feel free to sort of contact me on Instagram or on here. That being said, feel free to give it a little like, comments, or subscribe. Alright, peace out.